They want us to record our live sessions and make those available to you all as well. So I'm going to just record, and I wanted you all to be notified as well. All right, so let's get started. All right, so let's put on our hats, our imagination hats. We're going to use our imagination, and we are going to imagine that we are all working for a pet store. We own this pet store, and we have all these cute puppies that we sell, and we would like to use social media to drive traffic back to our website so that we can sell these cute puppies that we own. Let's brainstorm together. What are some initial steps that we might take? What will we need to do first?
Well, I don't know about first, but if you want to sell some dogs online, don't you got like, I don't know, maybe like you have to talk with like an animal shelter first,
Okay.
or like some type of pet organization, because like I think a lot of people get in trouble with like certain organizations with just selling like pets online, but like maybe you could create like an advertisement or something for social media saying the type of dogs that you sell. Um and yeah, that's just a piece of it.
Okay. So we might target animal shelters. Who would we, if we had to create a description for our ideal person that we're trying to target, what would we call them? How would we describe them?
I would say like someone with a homeowner or like families with homes like in suburban areas. People that have space to like walk dogs and stuff like that.
Okay, so homeowners. What about you, Naya?
I would say we would target like people who go for like animal rights, those type of people.
Okay, animal rights, animal lovers. Okay.
What about also like there's some people who need like pets, like they have certain health conditions or something?
So like emotional support, like similar to that, or seeing eye dogs, somewhere in
Yeah,
there.
like yeah, somewhere like that, because like I think some people like have like epilepsy, and like their dogs know what to do when they have a seizure and stuff.
Okay. So with that in mind, I've pulled up, this is Facebook's audience insights. So we're going to use this to create an audience based on what you all just shared. Okay. So where would our location be? Let's just say our pet store is in, somebody make up a location.
You want to do my hometown? We can try like Howard County, Maryland.
Okay.
Like something suburban.
Okay. Let's see, location. Let's try that. Okay, and then Howard County. Currently only support filtering by cities and regions. Do you want to change? Oh, okay. So let's stick with Maryland for right now. What age might we target for something like this? You all threw out homeowners.
I would say middle age, like probably from like 20 to like.
I would do like 25 and up.
At 25, yeah.
Just because I literally just bought 2 dogs like 2 weeks ago, and I'm only 21, and wish I didn't buy 2 dogs at 21.
That's so cute though.
You got a lot of little puppy mouths to be running around there. Okay.
Exactly.
So what might their interest be? You guys named some. So let's see, how can we put those into Facebook terms? Let's see, animal shelter. We do have that in there. Interest, animal shelter. Good. What are
I
some?
would say I would say like dogs, dog owners, um,
Maybe,
pet parents. I don't know.
let's see. Okay, so I just put dogs in there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Is this just like the search word, the keywords that they're gonna like target, the people that like search this kind of stuff?
So this section, we are identifying interests. So users on Facebook have either identified that this is something that they enjoy, either a hobby or something that they're interested in. I updated my hobbies to say that I like swimming, reading, hiking, bicycling. So if I share that information publicly, then I'm giving Facebook permission to allow advertisers to target me based on those interests.
So if we stay general and just say dogs, would that work?
Yeah, it would. So before, let's see. So when we just had animal shelter in there, our audience was between 200,000 and 250,000 people. When we put dogs in there, it actually jumps it up pretty substantially. And we cover 1 million to 1.5 million people. So actually adding dogs in is general enough to broaden out our audience, but we might want to narrow that a bit more. Let's actually try. Location. I'm trying to narrow the location a bit.
So could any business do this? Like anybody that wants to like sell something or like put an ad, you can just search the people that you want to reach out to and then just post it on Facebook.
Yeah, so this is kind of the research step. So if you think about SCOM, research planning, implementation, and evaluation, this is kind of the research step where you can go in and just what you're saying, just kind of brainstorm and see what type of audience we could have access to with our campaign and see what interests Facebook makes available to us. So
That is really cool. That is really cool.
yeah, so let me see if I can get you all the link also. Facebook audience insights here. All right, so I'm dropping that in the chat. So you all can actually save that and go back to it if you want to explore it again on your own for something for your own personal interests. But yeah, so this is available and we can make adjustments here. I won't dig into every part of it. You can go through interests, you can go through connections and find if I am a pet store owner, and let's just say I want to connect with only those people who are connected to my page, or I want to connect with people who aren't connected with my page, then this would be the area where I could go in and then just put that in there. People not connected to my page, so my page would pop up in there if we were using this. And then advanced, so you can put in if you want to narrow it based on language, if you want to narrow your options based on maybe we only want to target singles or married couples, if you want to base it on education, you can do all of that in here. So you'll actually go through this step later in the semester for your specific Facebook ad that you'll be creating. So again, save that link, and just kind of wanted to do that exercise to warm us up and get us into conversation about the importance of target persona development, audience research, and how that informs our customer journey. So these concepts live within a greater concept, which is the inbound marketing methodology. And so I don't know if you all saw Dr. Marshall's communication to the department, just saying that now we're a HubSpot education partner. So, which means we work with HubSpot to implement their certifications and tools within our classes. So this is one of their models talking about the current digital marketing landscape and how businesses, organizations, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, small businesses, how they gain audiences and customers in this digital landscape. So the first step, they talk about attract. The first step of kind of the inbound marketing methodology cycle is attracting new customers, making people aware of your brand, making people aware of your message and what you're doing. And within this pillar, they give some, this isn't an exhaustive list by any means, but they give some different tactics that organizations and people using this method can use to attract new customers. So maybe I'm attracting them by what we're doing, creating a Facebook ad that's going to go through and target specific people in a specific location that have specific interests that will most likely align with our message. Secondly, you can create a video through YouTube, and you can attract people through viral video messages, through videos and Instagram stories, and having using video to create human one-to-one connections through the authentic storytelling of videos. Blogging is another tactic that's used in this method to attract potential customers or brand advocates, because people are now using search engines to type in problems, and the search engine is returning content that, if keyworded properly, could present a solution. So if I were using that same pet store example, if I were typing in pet stores near me, or the benefits of buying from a pet store versus animal shelter, or vice versa. So if I'm blogging and I also, for my pet store website, have a blog associated with that, I can create content that then meets that user at the point of intent, when they're at the awareness stage, looking to buy some, or doing their initial research to buy a dog, or they're showing some type of interest in it. So my content can be in front of them at the opportune time of intent for that user. Social media works similarly. You're putting content through social media to attract new users. So if I share something on my pet store page and it's funny, or it's attractional, or it's informative, or it's educational, it is crafted in a way that incites someone close to me to share it across their pages. Well, now my content is getting amplified across users that I'm not connected with, but I'm able to be connected with them through people who share my content. So that's another way that you can use social media to attract. And then just developing a content strategy to attract new users in the same way where we talked about blogging. Knowing what, in general, users who come to your site type in, how they get there, what are their search behaviors, what are the keywords that they're using, and then calendaring all of that in a way throughout the year. If you study your analytics, you can see, oh, well, we noticed that during the summer months, June, July, and August, there's typically a spike in puppy sales. So we know we want to get our content refreshed and get it updated around April or May so that we're ready for that rush, or even around the holidays or around Christmas time or Valentine's Day, gift giving related holidays. If we see that our analytics, we study those and we see there are trends and spikes on those days, we can take advantage of that with content strategy. And then engagement tools really just speak to what we talked about during our first class when we looked at the landing page that we're going to use to communicate and drive leads for our virtual book drive. So when I track someone, then the next step is to, once they go to my landing page, then I want them to engage with the message, buy in, and take some type of action. So give me their email address, purchase a book and send it to us, support us, participate in our email marketing campaign, maybe through MailChimp, becoming a subscriber. Conversational Bots is a HubSpot tool, so you can put that conversation bot on your website, and when you come there, that bot will then immediately say, hey, thank you for stopping on our page. How can we help you? And if you engage it, if you type in, oh, I'm looking for such and such. Oh, well, give us your email. We'll send it right to you. So this is just the method is continually pulling you in to engage the brand, and then ultimately to delight in it enough to share it with someone else. So delight is the point where I've had such a good experience that I'm now sharing it and becoming almost like a brand evangelist or brand advocate for it in a sense, and pulling in others to attract them, to engage them to do the same thing. So it's a cyclical process that HubSpot champions, and so you'll be hearing it if you've been in Dr. Moon's class or taken Dr. Marshall or Dr. Smith. I know they're using HubSpot periodically throughout their courses, so you'll hear that language again. So that's the inbound marketing method. And part of before we can even begin to start attracting new strangers and converting them into not followers, but into advocates for our brand, we need to kind of start crafting some personas and know who it is that we want to talk to, and that who are the audiences that are most likely to convert. So the way organizations do this, they create buyer personas or target personas or advocate personas if you're a nonprofit and you're not really selling anything. And these personas serve as fictional representations, again, of your ideal customer. And they allow you to personalize who you're talking to throughout your messaging so that you're always making a one-to-one contact in your message. So the old way of marketing and advertising was really just billboard, right? We want to reach out to everyone, and it's more of an outbound approach that is message centric and that is focused on the company, doesn't really take into account the person. But now, because it's just so much information that people have to sort through, brands had to flip that model and now make it about the user. And so that's why we spend time thinking about who we're talking to before we create a campaign. So here is an example of actual buyer personas that were, so we say they're fictional or semi-fictional characters, so they are based in some truth, some data, some research that we have, some of our, maybe we've looked at social media to glean and to create this person so that we know we're talking to a person and we know somewhat about their behavior patterns, what they like. For example, Wendy Ryder. So for Wendy Ryder, maybe once we have her persona built out, it might be, well, what type of Facebook headline would attract Wendy during her morning commute? So it's key that we know the type of profession that this buyer persona has. We have to know their likes, their dislikes. We have to know their social media tools, platforms of preference. So Wendy's a writer, so most likely she's on a Facebook or a Twitter. She might like the long form content if she's someone who enjoys reading, or maybe her profession, or she may be a little bit older. She may lean more towards a Twitter and a Facebook versus a TikTok and a Snapchat. Again, Ronnie reader, Abby author. So for Ronnie reader, we could say what type of mobile content would appeal to Ronnie, who enjoys staying up to date with breaking news. So again, another reader or writer oriented target persona. And for this one, I think the key word here is mobile content. So this person is on the go. We need to make sure that the content is mobily optimized. And we also need to make sure that it's deploying at a certain time of day, because we know maybe he likes to jump up in the morning and get his news before he starts his day. So that's some of the information that we would then have to go back to Google Analytics and the analytics and kind of find, okay, best time of day. When are people looking at breaking news for X? And inform it that way. Abby author, what type of Instagram images would get Abby's attention? So for this target persona, we know that she is an author, but she's also into Instagram. It's how she engages with her many followers and those maybe her loyalists who read her books. Maybe that's how she connects with them. So that question would help us kind of zero in on that. And then Barry Books, similarly, so how can Barry reach new mobile customers and introduce them to his new local bookstore and coffee shop? So with Barry, he's a little different than the others. He owns a bookstore, so he's going to be maybe looking for an agency to help him create advertising campaigns that could get his bookstore in front of people within a 5-mile radius, a 10-mile radius. He might even be looking for coffee lovers. Maybe his ad campaign will lure coffee lovers into his bookstore. So for Barry's going to be looking for very specific content that will help advance his goals, which would be getting more customers into his bookstore and getting more foot traffic into his establishments. So figuring out how to reach them. All right, so I've talked a lot. I found this video that further explains buyer personas, and it's from HubSpot. So I'll go ahead and play this, and then if you guys have questions, we'll talk a little bit more about it after this video.
So,
sorry guys.
In general, what we find with a lot of companies is they don't have a very good grasp on, who this client is, what they're all about, okay? So what we need to understand here is the first thing, what do they need? What are the problems, okay? What are the things that they require? When and where do they need it? And of course, how you can actually go about helping them. These are the questions we need to ask ourselves about these customers in order to fully understand them. So the first thing that we do within HubSpot, when we're looking at our different customers and who we're actually going to market to and how do we actually define that, is we go and identify what we call buyer personas. So when a new client comes to us on board, the first thing we will do before we will go into any sort of methodology, fantastic uses of our platform, is we will make them sit down and spend a significant amount of time figuring out these personas. Okay? So what is an actual buyer persona? What's the definition of it? So what it should be is a semi-fictional representation of your ideal customer based on market research and real data about your existing customers. So what does that mean? That's a nice phrase. What that really means is when you're thinking about writing down on paper, I'm looking for somebody who works in B2B software. I'm looking for, and they have a turnover of 5 million plus, and X, Y, and Z. It needs to be based on real data, okay? We try and put as little assumptions in there as possible. Some of it is important, but as much as possible when we're shaping out the persona from the start, we need to base it on real data. You get that from talking to your actual customers. So what we always recommend in HubSpot when we're dealing with people for the first time is go and speak to your customers. Fully understand what they're about, what their business is, what their goals they look like to achieve, and particularly what their problems are. Because when we're building content online, and when we're trying to offer solutions to these problems, and we're thinking about blogging and all these sort of things, how do we actually come up with the ideas for the content? The whole idea, if we think back to our inbound methodology here, in Attract, so we're talking about blogging, and I'm saying to you, I want you to blog to your ideal customer. What are you going to blog about? What you're going to blog about is their problems. The first thing that what people will do when they go online is they will Google their problems. I have a problem. I do not know how to drive traffic to my website. I do not know how to convert traffic on my website. I don't know how to sell product X, Y, or Z. If you spend time actually building out your buyer personas and building a full list of the real-life problems that these customers or clients or whoever they are has, you don't need to start to think about what your blog titles are going to be anymore. You now know, because what you want to do is identify those problems, optimize your blogs around those keywords related to those problems, and what you'll start to see is really, really good results of people starting to engage with your content, subscribe to your content, and allow you to go through the next phases of inbound. So these are the actual HubSpot buyer personas. These are the ones we use every day across the globe, okay? So there's 3 there: Marketing Mary, Owner Ollie, and Corporate Kathy, okay? So here's a very high-level view of Marketing Mary and the sort of things that we think about. Now, we go into significant detail with Marketing Mary, Owner Ollie, and Corporate Kathy. So the first thing that Marketing Mary is, she's a professional marketer, generally around VP, director, manager level. She works in a mid-sized company, 25 to 200. She has a small marketing team, maybe 1 to 5 people. She generally has a master's, postgraduate qualification, generally in marketing. On average, she's about 42. She's married and with 2 kids. So just that last piece there, she's 42, she's married and with 2 kids. Why would that matter for our blogging content? Does anybody know? It seems like a redundant thing to put into your buyer persona. But when you're solving for a customer and when you're actually trying to engage with them and say, okay, I fully understand you both professionally and you personally. HubSpot often writes blogs about work-life balance, what to do with the kids during the summer. All these sorts of different things, because your customer is a real person too, with a real life and real things going on outside of it. So we don't just blog about everything to do with marketing, all the professional problems that we have. We deal with some of the real life issues around what this person has. Again, small things like work-life balance, putting out posts about that. It can just start to engage your client base a lot better. The sort of goals that she has then. So to support sales with collateral needs, again, thinking of content. What sort of consideration content can we put in place in order to do this for Mary? Manage company communications, build awareness, and the challenges. And for me, as I already said, this is the most important thing. You should be able to come up with 50 to 100 challenges that a Marketing Mary has. And if you can't, you do not understand the people that you're selling to. And if you do not understand the people that you're selling to, you cannot sell to them. And what I would recommend is that you get in front of them and say, tell me what's going on in this business. Tell me the real problems that you're having. Tell me about the issues that you're having reporting up to the CEO. Tell me the numbers that they're looking for. What's hot in the boardroom this month or this quarter? What are the sort of things that they're looking for? Those are the things that you need to understand in order to start to get people to engage with your content and to start to engage with your company. Okay, so let's think about the types of questions that we want to ask, okay? So from a professional perspective, fairly simple stuff. Job title, how do they measure success, what tools do they use, those sort of nice things. Again, company, what industry is it in, the size of the company. Again, we're trying to define very clearly a vertical to work with. Their goals, their challenges, the learning network, how do they go about finding information? Where do they find it? What is it? What does it consist of? Who are the people that they are influenced by? Who are the people they follow on Twitter? Who are the people that they look at on LinkedIn? Understanding all this can start to shape your marketing strategy in a very, very clever way. And of course then, the personal profile, okay? So once we've gone and we've defined the actual buyer persona and we have a real understanding of who we're going to sell to, then and only then can we say, okay, let's start building a strategy. Let's start thinking about how Marketing Mary buys her products, how she actually engages with vendors and companies.
All right. Are there any questions? All right. Not hearing from you guys, so I'm assuming there are no questions. So one of the things that Phil Higgins in that video talked about was looking at social media and kind of looking at social media insights and analytics in general, any type of data or information you can get your hands on, surveys, etc., to try to inform how you shape the target persona. One of the tools at our disposal is called Mention Map. I'll also put this in the chat so you guys can follow along on your own there too. So on Mention Map, you can just hit Explore for free and then sign in with your Twitter account. And it's kind of a social networking visualization tool. So you can put in certain Twitter channels or even hashtags and see how they appear, see what other influencer, see who all they're connected to basically in the social space. So for the point of this exercise, I'm going to put in our client, Maryland Book Bank, because the executive director sent over an email just talking about wanting to partner with some influencers during October's Literacy Awareness Month campaign. So if we put Maryland Book Bank in here, the orange one is kind of the central node, and that's the one that all of the other channels are orbiting around. So if you look here, other influential channels that they're connected to, it looks like they're connected to Mayor Young. So he's connected to Maryland Book Bank. It says Yvonne Winger. So looks like okay, a reporter at the Baltimore Sun. Who else do we have here? Member of Maryland Senate, Literacy Podcast, has over 1,000 followers and is run by 2 literacy educators in Baltimore, passionate about doing what's best for kids. Awesome. Let's look at this one. Links and retweets are not endorsements. So not really sure why this one is connected. So we'll have to do a little bit more research and digging into that. But let's say, for example, in thinking about target personas, we could create some based on some of these influential nodes that are tied to them, or we could say these are partner channels. When our page goes live and when our virtual book drive communication starts running in social media and our ads start going in October, we want to also reach out to these channels and ask them to amplify what we're doing. So that this can be helpful there. And then also, if I want to look in Twitter directly and use it as kind of like a social media monitoring or social listening tool, I can type in Maryland Book Bank in here as well to also learn more about people who are advocates for the Maryland Book Bank. So Don, let's see. Okay. So this may be a parent or this may be an educator. Thank you, Maryland Book Bank. Perfect picture. Someone who received books recently and posted about it. From Maryland, the is committed to helping. Let's see. Okay, so this is another educator. So we may have an educator ed target persona emerging here. Let's see, I'm not sure. Tori Snow works for WBAL Radio, and it looks like the event was the highlight of the fall from our family. My wife and I volunteered for the Maryland Book Bank every year. So this is someone who I'm just deducing is sad that they can't participate in Maryland Book Bank. And so maybe that is like an advocate Ann or an advocate Al, someone who typically participated with the Maryland Book Bank in person and was very excited to participate, but now that COVID has dialed back how they can participate, they're not sure how they can still get that fulfillment this year. Well, great. We have a virtual book drive, Tori, that you can be a part of. Let's see. A World Without Books is where an 8th grade teacher takes. Okay. Let's see. Kelsey Freeman, an educator, an author. All right. So we are proud to collaborate Maryland Book Bank on a literacy project for students in the Baltimore area. Carl Dickerson, a literacy initiative. So I'm going to stop there because I think we could definitely start to work on a target persona for the Maryland Book Bank. I want to hear from you all. Let's talk through developing a target persona. Do you think, based on just kind of a loose run of Twitter and then kind of looking at mention map, do you guys think we are in a good position to put together maybe a little bit of information and try to put a target persona together for our ad?
I think so.
I think so.
I think so.
I think so too. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually people add it. No. Anyone with this link, copy. Done. I'm going to put this in the chat, and then I'm going to stop sharing. All right, so I'm going to put you guys in a breakout room. I gave you the link to that. I want you to work on that together, and then we will come back maybe in about 15 minutes and just see what you've come up with. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, cool. And make sure you have the link in the chat, and then I'll put you in a breakout room. Welcome back, guys. Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
All right,
Hey.
waiting for Jamira. Jamira, are you here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, wait, there she is.
Yep, pop it on now. All right, so you guys present to me, who is your person?
So we have teacher Tiffany,
Okay.
and she is a K through 5 teacher. She's a single Black female in the late 20s, early 30s. So she's about 29. She makes about $60,000 a year. A Montgomery County teacher.
Okay.
Her social media of choice is Facebook. She's on Twitter a little bit, but sometimes might check her not her Facebook, her MySpace, but she likes Facebook. She likes to, she's a really nice teacher. She likes paints and sips, and she utilizes teacher email chains and newsletters about literacy. She likes to read about those and utilize those for communication with her clients, not clients, fellow teachers.
Okay.
I think this is a goal, wants to educate students through updated text. And she's also an outreach volunteer. Her, what is this? Secondary and primary challenges. Primary is that she's not able to volunteer currently, and she doesn't have enough books and resources for her students. Her second challenge is that she spends her own income on resources. And to help her with that, we think that we could advertise book donations through schools. So reaching out to different schools, reaching out to the community, so community outreach, and then also reaching out to the publishers of textbooks, and fundraising / bringing attention to the virtual fundraisers. Yeah. So then we got some quotes from her. And she was like, I sure wish I could donate to the kids in quarantine. So, but she couldn't. And then the end of the month came and she was like, I already spent majority of my income on the kids and I wish I could spend more. So she was a little disappointed in that. And then the last thing we went over was, common objections, where we had lack of time and lack of income. And that's as far as we got.
All right. All right. So the last two we didn't get to yet. So let's do that together. So how would you all describe your kind of solution to her problem? You did a really good job building this out. I feel like I know her, and I can, and when you know someone, you know what their, you know how they sound, then you'll craft messaging that really speaks to them. So I'm excited about that. So what would you tell her? What might you say?
Well, we said that since she can't volunteer, she can do the Maryland Book Bank, and just like
Sure can.
give through there. Or if she wants to, she can also help like spread the word about our virtual drive by like spreading the word amongst her friends that believe in literacy.
Right. Okay. So, but how would you say it? What would be your creative, let's see. So let's see, what was the language? Volunteer. maybe become a digital volunteer or support our virtual book drive? Like, how would you compel? What messaging would you use to
I would message her directly. I would be like, hey, teacher Tiffany, you rock. Help us get more books for the kids by spreading this link to your friends.
All right. So I would say maybe literacy lovers or book lovers, or because we know it's teacher Tiffany, but now we're taking one person and trying to speak to everyone. So you rock. I like that. So literacy lovers in Baltimore, you guys rock. And you may be feeling like you would take that target persona and look at some of the things, the challenges that you pointed out. You may feel like you're unable to volunteer and support your and support the Maryland Book Bank this October, but you know, our campaign, we'd have to figure out how to streamline it and narrow it down. But you guys knocked out a lot of the work in terms of figuring out the person. So literacy lovers, teacher Tiffany, so educators, and Victor volunteer, someone who wants to volunteer but feels like they can't contribute, or who wants to, like you all said, give their, may not have the resources, but they can amplify your social media. They can amplify messaging around your social media drive and still feel fulfilled and still feel a part. So great work on that. Save that, because, and you all know how to like make a copy of the document so that you can edit it. Make a copy of that document so that you can save it and edit it, because you're going to be responsible between now and next week for doing that 2 more times for 2 different target personas. So that will be an assignment on Canvas. It's already on there now, but creating 2 target personas. So as we move forward, once we have a target persona figured out and outlined, then the next step is now putting together a customer journey. So how are we going to actually get teacher Tiffany from the point of awareness about what we're doing to actually to attract her, to engage her, and then delight her in a way where she makes a decision and then becomes an advocate to help other people do the same thing? So when we're looking at, you all may have heard in your classes about the customer, the buyer's journey, or the buyer journey, or the funnel. So the funnel starts really wide at the top, and it's the awareness phase. So someone's just learning about you. They're just discovering the nonprofit. Maybe they just ran into your ad. Maybe they just ran into your blog. Maybe they just ran into your social media post. So they're meeting you for the first time. That's the awareness stage. And then the funnel kind of narrows down, because obviously you lose people. There'll be some people that are just not interested in the messaging or helping. And so you'll have the people who are, they'll move into the consideration phase. And that's when a person is made aware of what you're doing. They know about your campaign, and now they're about to take they've taken an interest to the point where they've clicked on it, or they've watched the video, or they submitted their email information to sign up and learn more. And then the final phase is the decision phase. And this is where they actually make a decision to buy or commit. So if teacher Tiffany sees our ad, then moves to the consideration phase, which would be on the landing page. She starts reading about what we're doing. And then when she makes the decision to then click on the Amazon links and actually purchase a book and send it to us, then we've moved that person through every phase of the funnel. So what we're going to work on now is actually crafting a customer journey with teacher Tiffany in mind. So I want everyone, yikes, okay, It's not gonna let me edit it like that. Okay, so I want everyone to throw out your thoughts so we can build this in together. So what is teacher Tiffany thinking or feeling at the awareness stage? That is seeing your ad or learning about it maybe through an organic post on, I think she said, you guys said she liked Facebook. So learning about it in social media. What is she thinking or feeling? No wrong answers here.
She thinks that the ad really connects to her, I guess, or what's that word? I guess focuses more on her. I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but she relates to it. That's the word.
With her, and it relates to her. Okay.
She may think that it may be a good opportunity for her to get access to more resources for her goals.
More books for her classrooms, maybe?
Yes, that and more money to put into her class and students, maybe.
Okay. Ryan, you got something?
I was just thinking that maybe she was feeling relief that other people want to help get books to kids like she does.
All right. What is her action under this pillar? So she's seeing the social media message or she's seeing the ad. She's at the awareness phase. What action is she taking?
She's gonna click the link and then go to the book bank website, right?
Mm-hmm. Or she may take another action as well. So teacher Tiffany is going to click the link and visit the landing page.
Oh, we want her to like thumbs up the ad or something, right?
It's going to also engage, interact, and perhaps share the message with her networks. Also, anything else? Can't think of anything. We can move on. So what or where is, let's see, where is she researching? What might she be researching?
Resources for students, book resources for students.
Mm-hmm. We want to focus it on Baltimore, or what did you guys say, Montgomery County? Did you guys say Montgomery County area? I think you did, but okay, we'll keep it broad. How will we move her? How will we move her along on the journey? So how will we get her to the landing page? How will we compel her? What are some ways through the visuals, through the text, to the messaging, how it's presented? How will that move her to want to take further interest in what we're talking about and go visit the page?
We could put like a chart, like a live chart that shows like how many books have been donated maybe so that she could feel compelled to like actually pull out her card and then buy some kits for the teachers to like maybe help them reach a goal.
We can show pictures of the students who have received their books. But through or teachers, yeah, anybody who have received their books.
All right. So now teacher Tiffany is on the landing page. What is she thinking now? Do y'all need to see that page again, or you remember it?
I'd like to see it, please.
Chat. Where do I have it? Chat. See. All right, so she's here. What is she thinking or feeling? What type of emotion do we want her to have? What is she thinking at this point?
Maybe she could feel like a sense of relief at this point.
Okay. Pleasantly surprised. Project. What else?
I would say maybe she feels compelled to follow through.
Is she happy? Is she just kind of in the middle?
I think she'd be more still in the research, like just looking through the website, seeing what they do, who they've helped, and how they can help her specifically.
Oh. Sure. What action? So you guys already kind of said that up here. So researching.
She's like clicking through the links and reading the stuff on the website.
And hopefully purchase. What or where is the buyer searching? So she's probably using the landing page. She's probably looking at the Maryland Book Bank website. Anything else? Okay. All right, so how will we move her from this phase into the next one? How will we compel her to purchase? Are we saying it directly? Well, we say kind of help build a child's home library. We don't really directly say buy a book right now. We're not as direct in the language. Could we be? What do you all think? Do you think we need to be?
I think if we keep what we have and then say buy, like help, can you go up a little bit? Help build a child's home library by donating this.
Got it. So add it here. That's a good suggestion. So we want to update the landing page to say that. What about here? Do we want to say it here?
It should say it right there because maybe they don't know what they're clicking on. It should be like, buy, click here, buy, like.
Got it. So, or buy or donate a story kit, donate books for educator kids, donate books for, okay. So we need to add direct call to actions throughout the landing page, especially above the fold and below near story kit and educator kit buttons. That's what I'm hearing from you guys. We all good with that?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Purchasing a book. So the decision phase, just taking action. What is the customer feeling at this point? So she was going here.
She's ready to just buy those books and let them have the books, or she's feeling a little bit of like reserve, or she's like, okay, I can't buy too many.
Got it. Okay, so
She's still thinking about her finances.
she is
Yeah.
concerned about her finances and doesn't want to over purchase, but is happy to share with others to participate also. So maybe her she can't give financially, but she can share it and generate more books that way and still feel like she had the kind of contribution that she would have liked. What else?
She could come up with some type of plan for herself, like, okay, I'll buy one book this month, and then when I get paid, I'll buy 2 books or something like that. Or the next time I'll just tell somebody, and if they, based on what they buy, then I'll come back and buy. Maybe I'll match you.
Got it. Organization here. Okay. So okay. What is the customer action? So we said purchase books and what else? Purchase books and maybe share information with others, we hope. Okay. What or where is she researching at this point? So she's probably on the main Maryland Book Bank site, learning how she can stay involved the year. Since this campaign only runs for literacy awareness month. Okay, our last step. So how will we move the buyer along his or her journey with us in mind? So this is the area of delight. And so delight is really after someone makes a decision, how do we then give them such a good experience with the process of purchasing the book, of being a part of this how do we then give them such a good experience that it encourages them and brings them joy enough to then share it with others? So do you all have any ideas about how we would delight teacher Tiffany in a way where she would then attract other people to our campaign and landing page to do the same thing that she did?
I think something that is probably maybe not that big of a thing to do, but maybe we could send her like a personalized message that says like, thank you so much. Because of you, now we're a little bit closer to our goal or something like that.
Or even just use like, oh, never mind. I was gonna say use like a child's name and be like, Jerome thanks you, but never mind. I take that
Okay,
back.
That's cute though.
that's a good idea. And we can combine what both of you are saying, and then we could ask Mark or Kim at Maryland Book Bank to just give us a bunch of pictures, because what they do on their social media, they have kids who get the story kits posts on social media and then they reshare them. So we could pull all of those into an email, make like maybe a little collage, and just say, here are the smiling faces that you're helping to impact. So I do like that. So we could send a personalized message that thanks her personally and also shows her the positive impact she is having in the lives of children receiving story kits. I think that's perfect. And then even if we could recirculate that organically on social, somehow thanking her, maybe from the SCOM channel or the SGJC channel, if we can get them on board as well, we could put that out, or even I could share it on mine, Mark could share it on his, we can figure something out like that. Okay. Whew. So we have developed a target persona. Can someone send that back to me too, just so I can have that recorded for our work here today? And then this is our customer journey. So this is great work that we've done so far. So here's an example of another customer journey map that I found in a HubSpot white paper. And it just shows someone, so they have their target persona there, focused friend. It talks about her being a prospective on-campus undergraduate student, researching schools to apply to and attend. So obviously this customer map and target persona were created with the higher education institution in mind. Her goals are to find information and answers about admissions, costs, financial aid. So if someone's working for a university and enrollment marketing, they're putting this together and wanting to understand this persona that they're going to need to connect with if they want to positively impact their overall goals and objectives. She's researching experience. Her research experience includes using search engines, other third-party research sites before landing on the university website for more in-depth research. So if I have that information, that's telling me that people aren't coming directly to my website to get to know me, that they're putting things into search. So that means I would need to have a content strategy developed to meet focus friend at her point of intent. And so they basically just did the work that we did, creating target persona, which is focus friend, and then building out her awareness buyer's journey. So we just did the same thing, and then their final steps are figuring out the types of content that this particular target persona might be interested in. For our purposes, we're going to develop an ad and also optimize a landing page. I am going to stop there. So we did not have time to get to Google Analytics today, but I will dedicate Thursday to Unit 1 for Google Analytics. We did, however, create our first target persona for our ad, and we have a nice customer journey developed for the awareness, consideration, and decision phase. Between now and Thursday, I encourage you all to take a look at the target persona assignment that's in Canvas. So you should find it. It's here. So we did this one together. I have to do that. But you have a target persona exercise, which will be collected next week. So if you want to, since you're already familiar with the process, you can go ahead and get started on that. I'd like for you to identify 2 key audiences. So it can't be the same one that we did today. So we have teacher Tiffany. So what are 2 other audiences that we could identify for this project? Since we will have 3 Facebook or 4 potentially Facebook advertising campaigns running. Then you can, instead of using the template that we use today, you can use this one. This is called HubSpot Make My Persona. And you can use this tool, build my persona, and go through and answer some of the questions. So let's see, teacher Tiffany. What does she look like? Which one do we want to give her? This one? Somebody say something. You guys said she was about 20.
Maybe. Well, no. Oh, wait, hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What about the 9th? Is that a Black woman? Yeah, that's giving me Tiffany vibes.
She can be Tiffany Tiff, teacher Tiff.
Teacher Tiffany.
But the third one from the bottom also look like Tiff. The one with the silver hair.
This one? This one.
The other one.
That's Granny Tiff.
She got like gray hair, so she ain't that old.
Are we good with her?
Yeah, that's Tiff.
All right, so you guys said she's how old?
29.
29.
Okay.
She's a firm 29.
Education.
Master's degree.
Okay. She's established.
Where is education? That is so funny. Just gonna put technology for right now, but you guys know she works with the size of the organization. I'm kind of mad they don't have other in there. All right, we'll stick with technology right now, but at least we call her teacher Tiffany, so people will know. Teacher. How's their job measured? How is their job measured? Student outcomes. Who do they report to? Objectives. Just throw out a goal. I think we talked about. You guys remember one that you labeled?
Educate students through updated text.
Challenges.
Not enough books or resources.
Resources, yeah.
Financial resources. How does it work? do they prefer to communicate? You guys said social. Now, what you guys said social media is where you think that you will interact with her. Is that right?
Yes, on Facebook.
How do they gain information for their job? I think you guys said blogs, literacy blogs. Is that what you said?
Yes. Well, literacy, newsletters, email chains.
Letters. All right. Okay. Download. If I can download this. They're asking me. All right, so now we have a teacher Tiffany persona. And like I said, you guys are going to go through and you can create them in here, or you can use the other generator and just create 2 additional ones. I'm gonna stop sharing. Put the link
So
here.
are we doing the table that was in the PowerPoint and this? Or just this?
How about for the 2? Here's what I'll do. Just do one using the table and then one using the HubSpot. So just 2 additional ones, and then you can do one using the HubSpot generator, and then the other one building it out a little bit more. That way we have some ones that were built out to work from. And so the link to the HubSpot generator is in Canvas, so you can find that there. And then also the link to the slides with the target persona fields in there for you all to fill out is in there too. And that's due next week. So if you want to spend some time working on it between now and the next class, you can. For our next class, like I said, Thursday, I'll dedicate that one to just a Google Analytics day, and we'll do some exercises using the demo tool. Are there any questions? Any questions about the work we did today, how it applies? Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for I'm going to put teacher Tiffany in there if you all want to save that, but I'll have it for mine too. Thank you all for your work today. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Go ahead and, was everyone able to get set up for Google Analytics?
Yep.
Everybody's good there?
Yes.
What about the email signatures? Did you guys update those?
No, going to tonight though.
Not yet.
Yes, I'll get to that right away.
All right, sounds good. And then Ryan and Naya, if you could send me like a headshot this week, that would be great so I can update the website.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you all.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys.
You.
Thank you.
See you Thursday.